It's always a little bit difficult to come back to a game after going through a very hard-fought victory, but it is time for us to dive back into Battletech, and the first thing we're going to do today is recruit some new pilots. We currently only have 3 Mechwarriors available, and we need more, so let's go to the hiring hall and see what type of fresh talents we have available to us. Now, right now, Giant Killer is catching my eye, but I'm not a big fan of his purple hairdo, so I'm probably going to pass up on him. Miss Rodeo over here is looking a little bit better, and I think I'm going to hire her. This could very well be our Decker replacement. You guys are going to learn very quickly that I'm superficial. I am superficial, one might say. So we're going to hire our first new pilot, and the second one, let's see. Well, this is basically Decker's father right here. They have the same basic character model, but this guy's got a little bit of gray in his beard. Now, wait a minute now. We got a handsome devil on our hands here. His name is Fox, and he's going to be a silver one when he gets older. We're going to hire this guy as our second replacement pilot. So we've got a lot of new faces. The best thing about the situation that we're in right now is if we go to the ship upgrade section, you'll see that we have the first level training module, so our Mechwarriors are going to gain experience passively in the background. So we're going to have to go through a couple of missions with these new guys and hope I don't get them killed. But once they're done and sitting off, you know, chilling, drinking sodas, they're also going to be in the training modules gaining passive experience so that they'll be a little bit better in their subsequent missions. And I think the training module 2 is something I'm going to go for, but I have to construct the beta pod in order to do that. So let's look around and see where the beta pod is. Ah, here it is. It's part of the habitat pods. The beta pod, once repaired, includes what was clearly once a hydroponics facility near the spine of the Argo and a low-G gymnasium just above that. Neither survived exposure to a hard vacuum and interstellar radiation, but they're tantalizing indications of the luxuries the Argo once included. So let's get that beta pod online for 900,000 credits, and then shortly after, we will get the training module number 2 that is significantly less expensive. Wow, so the next contract mission we're going to do, don't know what it is, but we are going to max out the financial gain on that, so we can come in and sort of subsidize the... Am I using that word correctly? So we can pay for the expensive thing that we just bought. Anyway, we're going to do rating party because this is 1.5 stars, and we can still get a nice amount of money from this, though it may be better for us to choose max salvage, since we could probably sell all of the salvage for more than what the maximum payout is. So, because let's think of it this way. If we choose max salvage, let's say there's a Panther on the enemy forces, and we disable it, and get 3 pieces of a Panther. We already have one, so we can sell it for about, I think 400,000 credits is how much a Panther sells for, which is pretty close to the maximum amount of finances. And then if you factor in all the lasers and the heat sinks that we'll get, we could sell some of those. We'd end up probably making more money. So I think this is something we're going to try out. I don't really need to worry about the reputation bonus anymore because the Arano Restoration, they love us. We're allies, but they love us. So let's go out there, we'll try out the max salvage concept, and hopefully we can get something big out of it. Alright, now this is the backup squad through and through, the expendables if you will. We have no one from the original cast and crew going on this mission. Now Payroll, we've seen him before, and he is piloting his Hunchback with the AC-20, so his job is going to be to dookie blast people, and if he fails at that job, it's going to be very, very sad. Next up, Riddler. We've seen him before, and he was filling a similar role to Glitch in the Blackjack, but because the Blackjack is severely damaged and going under repairs, he's going to use the Shadowhawk, which is a phenomenal backup mech for me. It's got the AC-5, double SRM-4, medium laser, and a flamer, so he can brawl if he needs to, and he can split fire between multiple ranges as well. Vindicator Vinny is being piloted by this handsome silver fox over here. He has no abilities, so hopefully he just doesn't screw up too badly. And finally, the Firestarter, we customized this one a couple of episodes ago. It's got a rangefinder, so he can scout for us at increased distances, but he has a lot of small lasers and 2 medium lasers. So the main goal for this mech is going to be to get in close, go for some melees, shred off pieces of armor, and possibly one-shot mechs from the rear. It's going to be very exciting to play with this build. And the coolest part about it is Rodeo has the Bulwark passive. So if she gets in close, she can just hunker down, and she has a decent amount of durability for a lightweight mech. So she may even survive. So let's get out there and hope the Expendables don't get their asses kicked. Darius is doing a wonderful job of making me feel a little bit nervous. Commander, the pirates wouldn't send a dropship if they didn't mean business. So if we take this job, we've already taken it, we should stay alert down there. I'm going to stay alert, but I'm still a little bit nervous. Oh boy. Difficulty is such a strange thing in video games. You know, you get to this point where you build up your confidence and you start thinking you're unstoppable and your strategies are basically flawless, and then one mission comes around and kicks your ass and you're right back to square one feeling like a 100% nooblet. That's the situation I'm in right now. I imagine it's similar to a feeling that you might experience playing a game like Dark Souls. I never played it before myself, but I know all of the stories about the difficulty of the game and the punishing aspects of it. But I imagine that there's got to be a point when you start to feel really good about yourself and you get a shiny new sword and you're like, yeah, I'm tough, and then you get squished by a dragon or something. I don't know, but either way, we've made contact with the enemy. We've got eyes on 2 mechs, but we don't know the weight class of them yet.
Okay, everybody, let's hit him where it hurts.
Looks like one light and one medium. Not too bad. As long as we don't see any heavies, then we should be mostly okay for this one. We don't have any sensor locks though, so this is going to be a bit tricky. We're going to have to end up firing straight into evasion in a lot of cases, so that's going to make things a bit more difficult for us. But since we do have so many brawlers, we may end up just punching people in the face and not even really having to worry about firing into evasion. Ah, the first one came visible. It is a Jenner, and it is a fully armored one, so no ramshackle targets are going to be on this mission. That does make me a bit nervous, and we are getting rained on by what I can only guess is a trebuchet or some other mech that has a buttload of missiles on it. Now, the Jenner right now only has 2 points of evasion. It is braced, but I feel like I can run in and start firing at it. Then again, I probably shouldn't. I think I should take advantage of the fact that I'm line of sighting the enemies for as long as possible. So I'm just going to keep everybody braced in this little spot. The trebuchet being the only one, or whatever LRM boat that is in the background being the only thing firing on us, is okay. Vindicator Vinny, though, is very exposed, taking the brunt of the assault. The braced, though, is helping us out. But even though I just said I need to stay back and be a little bit cautious, we got an AC-20, and this thing does not benefit from staying back and being a little pansy. We got to go big or go home. So let's jump right in. We're going to be in forest cover with 4 points of evade. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're taking the shot. We have to, right? We have to take the shot, don't we? Don't we have to take the shot on his core? I mean, come on. It has to be done.
Confirm.
Missed. Well, we've got 9 shots left. The bright side to that is that even though our shot missed, precision shot still pushes enemies back an initiative phase, even if the hit misses. So we do have an opportunity, or we're gonna have an opportunity to take another shot with our AC-20 at the Centurion, and we're gonna move closer. So I think our hit percentage might be a little bit better. I might have an opportunity on my hands to dookie blast the Jenner, but we're going to have to be really passive about this one because just damage is going to hurt. We got an enemy Panther coming in. I think it's shooting at... No, it's shooting at the fire starter. That's very unfortunate. I was hoping that one was going to go for Vindicator Vinny, but it didn't. But I'm shaking up, man. I'm shaking up by that last mission. I'm just worried that everybody's going to start dying, dropping like flies. But I suppose what I can do to prevent people from getting their asses whipped is play to the strengths of my lance and Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to have Vindicator Vinny going after the Panther. We're going to jump up here. We're not really in range to do much of anything right now, but I'll still fire most of my weapons. I don't want to generate too much heat because we're on a desert biome, so we're not sinking that well. But once we do finally close the gap on this Panther, we're going to be relentless on him. So we'll start off with a light attack for now. Nothing really meaningful coming out of that because none of these guys are ramshackle, like I said before. But come on, we got to get our confidence back, folks. Stella's about to get her groove back, people. Now, what is that? It's firing its LRMs again. We still don't know exactly what it is. A decent amount of them missed the Vindicator this time because of the evade. Now that the majority of the enemies have gone, it's time for us to get really busy here. Now, we've got a lot of options now. It's time for Riddler to show why he's a badass and potentially a phenomenal replacement for Glitch, even though nobody can truly replace her. You know, they've got similar builds, so it's okay. The first thing we'll do is we'll jump into the forest cover. Alright? Now, I think this will finally... Yes, it is a trebuchet. And this is a pretty cool mech because it is an LRM carrier. You see he's got 30 LRMs with him, and that's something that our squad has been desperately missing for a very long time. So I may end up trying to capture that guy. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to split fire. The Jenner is going to take most of it. And the Centurion is going to take a little bit so I can get rid of that final point of evasion, make him nice and ripe for payroll to Dookie Blast with that AC-20. So the shot is going to miss, which is a little disappointing. But most of the stuff is going to connect on the Jenner and even expose a bit on him. So we got 2 more moves left. Oh, it's about to get good. Payroll. It's time for you to show why you deserve to be on the pay. My goodness, the shot percentages on the AC-20 are ridiculous. The recoil penalty is crazy. If I jump closer, will it be better? Slightly, yeah. Man, that's something to really consider. I didn't realize the recoil penalty on the AC-20 was so severe because this is insane. It looks like I found a sweet spot here, though. We got it up to 55 on our chances to hit, so that's pretty good. This is probably going to overheat me if I fire everything, so I'm not going to. Please? Please blow off his arm. I would really appreciate if you blew off an arm, maybe a leg, something.
He's going down.
He missed. Well, this isn't going very well, is it? I mean, it was a 50-50 roll of the dice, so I can't be too upset about that. But time for us to get a little bit aggressive here. This Jenner, there's a very good chance we kill it in one burst. So that's what we're going to do. It's a risky play, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. We're firing 6 small lasers and 2 medium lasers. This feels pretty cool. Look at that, look at that, look at that focus fire. We didn't get the kill, but we destroyed the 2 medium lasers on the side of it. That's power on the same level of our Centurion in a much more agile package. Alright, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. Stella's getting her groove back. And we're going to do that thing that I was just talking about, where we're going to stay in our position with the fire starter. We're going to lose our points of evasion, but we're going to gain Bulwark. And I firmly believe that the damage reduction from Bulwark is better than 4 points of evasion, simply because it's guaranteed defense. Because there have been so many times, I can't even count how many times I've had maximum evasion, so 5 points. I've been in a mineral field at the same time, so the enemies had basically a 0% chance to hit me. But bam! Headshot. It boggles my mind. So, just like that, I feel better about the fact that the Firestarter took a hit while it had Bulwark up. This arm is probably going to fall off from the trebuchet, but it's fine. As long as the pilot survives, I think we'll be okay. Now, at this point, the Hunchback is probably going to have to just hunker down because our shot percentages just keep getting lower and lower with that AC-20. So we'll just move up and brace him, but not yet.
Commander?
I want to see what Vindicator Vinny can do to this little Panther, and we're seeing much better shot percentages as we get closer and closer to the sky. And once we deal with the Panther, then we can start dealing with the trebuchet. So let's do it, man. And we're on the side of him that has the PPC, so if we neuter him, like a little kitty cat, snip off his balls, that'll be perfect. Not going to do enough damage to the PPC arm, but that's fine. The assault has begun. Now, it's time for us to lose an arm on the fire starter. I know, I know. Look at that.
I'm taking internal damage.
That was brutal, but it's okay. It's okay.
Need something, Chief?
Because you know what? The trebuchet is encroaching on my territory now. He's within the optimal range of my lance, so that means he's about to start getting rocked. I'm not going to split fire this time. I'm just going to concentrate everything on the trebuchet.
On it.
Missed. My goodness, the misses are out of control today. They really are. This is a problem. This is why sensor lock is super valuable. Even though it soaks up a turn where you could be firing shots at people, it gives you higher shot percentages. So I think it winds up being worth it in the end. So payroll, I'm not even gonna bother bracing him. I'm just gonna walk him forward and shit, maybe that's too far. Here we go. I'm just gonna walk him forward and or sprint him forward rather, and in the coming turns, if the Centurion keeps focusing on the Firestarter and the Shadowhawk, he's gonna get butt blasted real hard, and I'm gonna love it. He's not. He's gonna be very upset about the butt blast. Panther repositioning. What's he going for? All right, he's going for a 1v1 with the Vinny, but it's not gonna help you, buddy. There's nothing you can do to save yourself. Now the Firestarter is in a bit of trouble, but it can survive. And I'm going to push it to its limits. I really am going to push the Firestarter to its limits right now, because I got to test out this build. We did lose one medium laser and one small laser, so our firepower has gone down a bit, but that's okay. I'm going to use Vigilance to give myself the brace, and I'm going to move in for a punch on this guy. Am I standing in a mineral field? I think this is a mineral field. Yep. Well, I guess it's working for and against me. The mineral field, what it does is it increases the enemy. It decreases. What does it do? These mineral deposits interfere with targeting systems. +4 difficulty to units within a mineral field. +2 difficulty for attacks made by units within a mineral field. So I have a harder time shooting out. Enemies have a harder time shooting in. Damn, I don't know why that was so confusing to me. But we're going to go into the field. It's going to protect the Firestarter. We're going to punch him. Or kick him. Both work. Alright, our lasers, most of them hit the targets. And we got a head hit, so the pilot is injured. If we get a knockdown, maybe we'll get some pretty good salvage from that guy. If we kill the pilot without damaging the goods. Because who cares about the meat? We don't get to take these guys and interrogate them.
My armor's getting stripped off.
Oh, calm down, Riddler. You're fine. You know what? It's time to brawl, folks. It's time to brawl.
Move into position.
I don't know if this is the best move, but I love brawling. It's so fun. Oh yeah, it was the best move. It was totally the best move. We kicked off his arm, and we're cooking him a little bit with our flamer. This is fantastic. I don't think the heat generation is going to be enough to deter attacks from the Centurion, but at the very least, we stripped down some of his armaments. Yeah, and he missed completely. We're not going to get the flank anymore with the AC-20, but that's totally okay. That's totally okay. We'll still move in and take the shot. Should we? Do we get? Is he in a mineral field? Man, the AC-20 is just ridiculously inaccurate. All right, let's move up and then take a moment to actually look and see what is increasing the difficulty of our AC-20 shots so much. Because I'm genuinely taken aback right now by how much I'm having a hard time. Okay, he is in the mineral field. Okay, so it's not just the AC-20 being weird. All right, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
Firing!
Missed again.
Damn it.
I'm just as upset as you are, payroll.
Standing by.
Gonna have to dock that pay a little bit. Hopefully we can take out the Panther in this volley. It should be fine. Should be fine. Oh, what a struggle. This is what it's like bringing the B team. Everybody's... There's no synergy between these people. They don't know each other very well.
On it.
There we go. This is perfect.
Critical hit.
This is just like an XCOM when you have your best squad of guys. They're all captains or whatever.
Yes,
And then
Commander.
you bring in these goofballs and they end up kind of shitting the bed a little bit. Ah, well, we're trying our best, and I think it's working. Alright, we finally got some exposed structure, and we removed the guarded state from the trebuchet, but I think it'll probably move and put it back, so we haven't really gained all that much from it. And unfortunately, the Panther going to get to stand up before we do any damage to it. Maybe I could have jumped over with the fire starter and hit it, but in the end, it's not really going to matter. The Panther's still going to get destroyed.
Standing by.
But we got this, though. It's just been a little bit not perfect because of this stupid mineral field, but we got this in the bag. It's not a problem. The only thing we have to worry about is maybe some dumb shit will happen. So we can try and prevent it as much as possible by making good decisions. Alright, we got the core exposed on the Centurion. That would have been a nice one to scrap and sell. And we managed to overheat him as well. What's going on here? Ah, the trebuchet finally moving out of the mineral field. And alright, we're going full rock'em sock'em now. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting.
Reporting heavy damage.
I really enjoy this game. That's probably okay.
Firing.
He doesn't miss with those, does he? Asshole.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Now, one thing that I'm going to note right now is I probably shouldn't have gone for maximum salvage on this mission, because the fact that my squad guys are all basically the lowest of the low trash tier, it means that I don't have the hit percentages, I don't have the special perks that you get for having higher tier pilots. Decker, for example, he has, I believe it's called shot mastery at this point, so he can saw off people's legs with surgical precision, but nobody else can really do that on this squad. And the fact that I don't have all of those crazy benefits, I think is working pretty heavily against my ability to salvage these mechs correctly. I'm being very blunt about approaching this, which is unfortunate, but we still might get some good stuff out of it. Left arm destroyed. Holy crap.
Armor blow through.
Well, there was nothing on that arm anyway. It was a distraction arm. Yep. Just punch it. That's all you do. Seriously? You're not much nicer. I think the symbols. Alright, so I think I ragged a bunch of sheep positive. I've done a good job this time. Alright, that's all. Yes, time to ragtag with pilots. Alright, folks. It's time for this ragtag group of pilots to start making a name for themselves. The trebuchet is the final target left on the battlefield. It has an impressive complement of weapons, which means it's a bit threatening. But we have a tremendous opportunity on our hands to salvage this thing and keep it for ourselves. That goes against what we were planning on doing, making a little bit of extra money with the salvage, but this is a nice mech and I'd love to experiment with it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to run in with Rodeo and hopefully sweep the leg. So we're going in there. I mean, the height is perfect. Kick him in the leg. Okay, headbutt him in the leg. That's fine. That works too. So she did connect with the leg. Now let's see where all the small lasers go. Most of them went to the arm. Not ideal, but it's fine. Now payroll is going to come in hot, and it's about to start getting real dirty. We're going to angle him onto the side of the enemy mech, and then we're going to precision shot on his leg. Now he's missed every single AC-20 shot that he's taken so far. But to his credit, they've been difficult shots because of mineral fields and evasion and stuff, and I forgive him. But now is the time that he really needs to shine. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. So we got the knockdown on the trebuchet. The next round is going to start, and everybody is going to cut that leg off with precision. We'll start with the fire starter because that's the closest one. We'll just go with all the small lasers on it. It has 70 health remaining. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, we can do 4 small lasers. You know, we'll do 5. We'll do 5 because we'll fire everything because we're probably gonna miss.
Affirmative.
Precision surgery. There we go. All right, so that was a bit of a clusterfuck. It could have gone way downhill. We took a lot of probably unnecessary damage, but in the end, we've got a pretty high mech tech score, so the repairs aren't going to take that long. And we're not going to come out of this with a lot of money, but we are going to get a trebuchet, which could be very, very devastating in the right hands. That could be a mech that Decker pilots because he has indirect fire bonuses. Or it could go to really anybody else. It's an interesting one. It's going to be interesting to play with it because it's a play style that I'm not so much used to. I don't use LRMs a lot, but I know it's very powerful. So nobody took any injuries, which is great. So we can bring these guys on the next mission as well to continue trying to level them up. And unfortunately, oh, I already had a piece of the trebuchet, so that's pretty nice. So I only have to take one of them, and everything else is crap. So we'll take the LRM-15s and call it a day. I think it was a good haul. Obviously, the financial issue is the thing, but we got a lot of nice stuff, and we probably have a mech or two that we can sell. I think I'm holding on to a spider mech that I have just for sentimental reasons. I could probably get rid of that, and I wouldn't lose much sleep over it. And there's a locust, I think, in storage. We can sell that if we need to. There's plenty of stuff.
That mech you asked for is cleared for fighting.
One of the lightest dedicated fire support mechs to be found, the Trebuchet 5N can mount enough missiles to give even heavy units pause. However, trench buckets are known for running hot and don't have much in the way of protection. They don't really need it if they're firing indirectly and don't get sensor locked. So let's go to the store for a minute because we're running low on funds, and Darius is going to start bitching at us pretty soon. There are 2 AC-10s on the shop that I would love to buy, but that's not really in the cards right now. What I'm really at the shop for is to sell some things because I know there's this surplus that we have. Like here, we could sell a spider and a locust, and that would tide us over for a month. We actually have our own AC-10 pluses, so I probably don't even need to buy them. I could probably sell the basic one for a bit. Because if I've got the pluses, what do I need the basic one for, right? These large laser pluses, I like them, but I very, very rarely use large lasers for anything because they generate a lot of heat. And I just haven't found a very good build that works with them. So I think what I'll do is I'll sell this large laser plus that has +1 accuracy, and I'll keep the large laser that has accuracy and damage because that feels like a better trade-off. I've also got 5 normal large lasers, so we can sell a couple of those. We've got 34 medium lasers, so yeah, we can sell some. Before we wrap up for the day, I did enjoy the fire starter build with all the lasers, but it was a bit heat inefficient. So before we wrap up, I'm going to change some things around with it. I don't want to sacrifice armor for more heat sinks, because this thing is already light as a feather, paper thin armor anyway compared to some of the bigger mechs that are out there, so I don't want to sacrifice that. So I think what I'll try and experiment with is I'll take off the small lasers. They were very powerful and I really enjoyed the build, but I want to try something different. So I'm going to put machine guns on instead, and for those I can probably get rid of most of the heat sinks. The weight that we're using is going to wind up being just about the same because machine guns require ammunition, and we're going to need quite a bit if we want to use them pretty liberally, and that's definitely something we want to do. And we have enough weight remaining that we can put on 3 more medium lasers, so we retain the same amount of armor, but we gained a considerable amount of firepower from range. Before we only had 2 medium lasers, now we have 4, so we effectively doubled the amount of damage we can output from a longer distance, so we could stay a bit safer with the fire starter. Or we could get rid of those medium lasers and just probably max out the armor. Those are the choices that we have with it. It's a tough choice to make, man, because the fire starter really is a DPS powerhouse. You want this thing to be armed to the teeth, and right now we definitely have that. This seems pretty insane. Yeah, no sacrifices. Forget that. We're gonna try it out. So we have 6 machine guns, 4 medium lasers, 4 jump jets, and a rangefinder. So the fire starter is the ultimate scout. This should be pretty cool. It's very fun to experiment with different builds like this. I've tried the flamers before. They work extremely well in hot climates, but really nowhere else. Would have been a benefit to us in the previous mission, but it is what it is. I like this. It's gonna be fun to experiment with it. Confirm. And yeah. So the rest of it, we just got to do repairs on everybody, so that's kind of boring stuff. So we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're probably going to do another contract mission. We also have a new mech to customize, so we'll fiddle around with the trebuchet a little bit, though the default build that they have for it, there's really nothing wrong with it. So, as always, the name of the game is Battletech. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about the B team. Did they perform well, all things considered, or do they have a lot of work to do? And how do you feel about going on missions without your ideal squad when you play games like this? I know it is a bit nerve-wracking from my experiences with XCOM and now Battletech, but it's super rewarding. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.